I'm still fooling around with the slide here. Been about a week now. So one of my favorite slide players is Johnny Winter, and his slide playing is what I'm trying to go for. I always liked Johnny Winter, and it was like 1990, and Johnny had a new record out called "Let Me In." So we were on Fort Hood, and Johnny Winter had a gig in Austin, so we all decided to go. So we drove up there, and we went in, and I can't remember if there was I don't think anybody was opening. I can't remember the club. We were there kind of early, and we were probably just drinking some beers. But I wasn't feeling very good. I started feeling like I was coming down with a cold. I had a scratchy throat. I said, look, I'm going to go sit in the car, because I just don't feel good. So I went out to the car, and, I just got in the car and leaned the chair back. I was feeling rough. So I may have the window cracked a little bit. And so, like I said, I was reclining back in the car, and then all of a sudden, I started hearing people arguing. It sounded like a couple arguing. So I turned and I looked, and it was Johnny Winter and I think his wife. And they were like kind of outside the door of the bus, and they were going at it. And I don't remember what it was about or anything. She was giving him hell, and it was just kind of hilarious. It was kind of hilarious because I was thinking, man, he's got to go in here and play. So, let's don't ruin his whole night because of this argument. So anyway, I listened to him for a little while. I mean, it's about 5 minutes. And so I see him go in, and so I got out of the car, then I walked back in. I went and found my buddies. I told them what had happened. If you like these stories, hit the like button, subscribe if you feel like it. This is for all 16 of my subscribers. So, he always kind of played that Firebird, but when we saw him, he had that little guitar with no headstock on it. And I don't know what that guitar is called, but during that period of time, he was playing that guitar all the time. And I mean, that thing sounded like it was a banjo almost. It just, nobody could have done anything with that tone except for Johnny Winter, which was just unbelievable. When he was playing during that era, he always had a chorus pedal on. So he had that guitar that just sounded like a strangled, he was just strangling the damn thing, and he had that chorus going. It was just unbelievable sounding. He just comes out, and by this time, I would say it's 1990 or something like that. Yeah, I believe it must have been 91. And by this time, he was more of just he was a seasoned blues guitar player, and he didn't have to be playing a million notes all the time. And he left a lot of space in what he was doing back then, and you can hear that on that record too. Let Me In. Because the way he did it was almost like they must have recorded that record just about live, because it sounded exactly like what he was doing at the show. He never duplicates a lick. I mean, he must have a million damn ways to play a pentatonic scale. It's unbelievable. But that show was rocking. But then he broke out the slide, and then it just got wicked. It was amazing. It was really good, except for the fact that I was sick. By the time we got home, I was sick as a dog. I was sick as a dog at the show. But it was still a great show. He was right there at the peak of his powers. Let Me In, I thought that was a great album. When my buddy gave me the other album, Hey, Where's Your Brother? I started listening to that, and then I think Hey, Where's Your Brother's even better than Let Me In. But I see he also did 3 more records, and one's in 2004, I'm a Blues Man. So it looks like Let Me In is pretty much almost all covers except for, looks like about 2 songs. I don't think he ever get. I think Johnny Winters just doesn't ever get enough credit. I won't say he's underrated because he's not underrated. He just doesn't get the credit he deserves. I remember I was reading one of the guitar player magazines way back, probably in the early '80s. I was real young, probably I don't know, 13, 14. They used to have guitarists come in and they would ask them about certain albums. And this particular issue, it was Johnny Winter. And so they asked Johnny a few questions about, I don't remember which records, but the one I do remember was, I think it was either Zeppelin 1 or 2. And Johnny says, "Oh, I'm going to get in trouble on this one because if you think this is blues, you ought to be listening to me." So I thought that was great. And I listened to Johnny a good bit, and I knew he was telling the truth too. So you don't get a whole lot of candid comments out of celebrities, so I thought that was pretty funny. But anyway, with me trying to learn to play slide, it was just inevitable that I was gonna look up Johnny Winter because he's just the most wicked slide player who's ever come down the pipe. Him and Warren Haynes. And Warren Haynes said that the person he listened to, or one of the people he listened to, was Johnny Winter. I was like, yeah, I can tell. Derek Trucks didn't listen to Johnny Winter, I don't think. I think Derek Trucks listened to Robbie Shankar. Anyway, thanks for watching.